Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to TechGeek webinar series. Our endeavor to empower techies. I am Bharat, product manager at techgeek.com. We believe that sharing of knowledge is the key of enhancing our performances and for our growth as professionals. With this principle in mind, TechGeek has initiated a series of webinars conducted by industry experts to get a crisp insight of various domains. Today's webinar is fourth in the series and will throw light on building intelligent web applications. Our guest speaker today is Ram Awasthi, Technical Architect, Times Business Solutions. Ram is well-grounded professional with around 10 years of strong experience in enterprise architecture, customization, integration of open source tools or frameworks, to develop and manage high-performance scalable web applications and backend systems. This presentation will continue for next 45 minutes and we will take your questions in the last 15 minutes. You can post your questions in the meanwhile on techgeek.com or through the chat available in the webinar software. Without further ado, I introduce to you our guest speaker, Ram Awasthi. Over to you, Ram.
Hi everybody, welcome to the session. Today we are going to discuss about intelligent web applications. So going to the session objectives. Today we will discuss what is the intelligent web application, basic elements required to make any application as an intelligent web application, what all are the advantages of intelligent web applications in business perspective, then real life examples where some web applications are turned to be intelligent web applications. Then we will have a Q&A session. So moving forward towards intelligent web application as a concept. So if we see the development of Web 1.0 was basically collection of documents which were interlinked together using hrefs, and those were static in nature. So no interaction, two-way interaction was happening between the users. That was only knowledge sharing platform. When Web 1.0 moved towards Web 2.0, then two-way interaction started happening. So Ajax and all technologies came into, and then user can interact with the application and get the desired results. So all areas of your life has been transformed into web applications, like your shopping, your marketing, your e-commerce, your teaching, training, all sorts of aspects of your life. There is a web application which is serving you. But if we see, majority of these applications are content centric, or you can say that you get the result for which you have provided the input, but on the back end no specific intelligence has been provided or utilized. Suppose if we take an example of any shopping site. So my tendency is to purchase entertainment DVDs on weekends for particular genre. So whenever I go to the page of entertainment section, it should automatically give me some sort of suggestions or recommendations on the basis of my prior input. But currently it's not happening in majority of the application. So if we see any application that has some sort of learning capacity, which can learn from the previous inputs of the user, that is an intelligent web application. Similarly, if any application which can predict users' behavior on the basis of past inputs or past behavior, and accordingly it can help user in taking the decisions. That is an intelligent web application. Similarly, suggestions and recommendations are important part of any intelligent web application that helps any user to decide on right choice within a lot of uh, options. So relevant options, so that he need not to make much effort to reach the desired selections or choice within the application. Then clustering and classification. This feature is very important for the user generated content. Sites which provide user generated content, those should have some sort of intelligence which can classify the user input or user documents on the basis of some similarity. They can cluster similar documents and group them, place in proper place, so that similar sort of documents can be accessed in single click. Then an intelligent web application should also be backed by sentiment analysis. So a lot of sites which have user generated content, basically review sites or rating sites, where sentiments or reviews are in form of free flowing text. So you can't quantify that free flowing text whether somebody is writing good or bad about any product or whatever the thing about which he is commenting on. So using some sort of linguistics, natural language processing, you can provide that whether it is a negative sentiment or positive sentiment. Apart from sentiment analysis, this is also used or can be used for spam detection, for fraud detection. Then intelligent search is an integral part of your intelligent web application, because without search no web application can survive. Everywhere search is a major function of any business over the net or anywhere. So providing results on the basis of users input as it is not a good idea, because there could be very good synonyms for that word which you can augment within the query, add within the query, and provide more relevant results. Maybe somebody who has written synonym in his text for the query which end user is searching for, he should get those results also. As well as there are a lot of typo errors or spelling errors that should also, your search engine should be able to correct and provide the right results. Like if you see, did you mean feature of Google search engine. So if we summarize all these behaviors or all these features, so we can say any web application which provides personalization on the basis of some prior experience with the user's input, any web application which does web mining and have a feature of semantic web, that becomes an intelligent web application. So now if we talk about intelligence, that what sort of intelligence using those features or functionalities comes to your application. So you can have explicit intelligence in terms of information provided by user in your application, like user had written some comments or reviews, he did some voting, he did some sort of tagging. So in terms of tagging, you will get classification of the document, comments and reviews get you positivity and negativity of the document, and voting again quantifies or likes and unlikes of your document. So these comes explicit, provided by the users. Another type of intelligence is implicit, so that your application provides implicitly by mining your information from blogs, wikis, from community pages. So if, for example, we talk about some stock quote site, so they have stock quotes for each and every company. So if you provide articles about that company, news about that company, and the discussion about that company from across the web, then you are providing that implicit intelligence to the user. Next is derived intelligence. So all the intelligence which comes after aggregating the data collected by data mining or text mining, by doing clustering or predictive analysis, by recommendations and intelligent search. So all this derived information also provides a lot of intelligence to your system, that any hidden pattern or any uh, hidden navigational thing, user behavior, that comes under the derived intelligence. So to achieve implicit, explicit and derived intelligence, there are certain ways and certain use cases. So we'll talk about personalization, how these intelligence helps user in personalization. So if we, as we discussed in earlier example, that suppose you have went to some shopping site, and there you usually go into entertainment section to buy CDs of certain genre. So it should provide you automatically the recommendations or suggestions related to that. So personalization, this means personalization. So you should get anything in front of you that is depending on your previous input or previous transaction within the application. So that helps you in making one-to-one relationship with the user. So like Amazon does. So CEO of Amazon quoted some time back that if we have 4.5 million of customers, we shouldn't have one store. We should have 4.5 million store customized to each requirement of each and every users. So that provides one-to-one connect with the users, with your application. So apart from that, there are several ways of personalizations. You can do location specific personalization. If your presence is worldwide, you can do location specific customizations within your site. If I am from India, I should get all the relevant content from India, like Google does. If you access google.com, on the basis of your IP, your current country site will be served to you. Then collaborative filtering is also part of web personalization, where all the like-minded persons, on the basis of their preferences, you will get some sort of suggestions or recommendations that people's like you have liked this, so you will also like this. So Amazon is doing excellently, working excellently in collaborative filtering. There are few other examples like Pandora on music site. So they provide do excellent collaborative filtering in terms of music. Data mining. And you also do data mining and discover relations between different groups of data, that how user is behaving, what kind of transaction he is doing, and with this data you can create certain groups and do the personalizations. Concept extraction. This is also part of mining. So you can, when somebody is searching, suppose some free text field and he is doing some searches. He is typing some free text for searches. So by analyzing or parsing that text, you can extract the concept and do the personalization if he comes next time to your site. So this is based on the semantics of a content, that what exactly that text meant for. So coming back to collaborative filtering, this is heart of all the social engineered web applications. Everywhere they use recommendation engines where they improve services to their users by creating judgment of other people's which are having same taste or same preferences. So though filtering is a fundamental part of any web application and that is done. So if we see earlier applications, normally they implement simple filtering where they uh, divide their clients into predefined groups on the basis of certain criteria like the kind of services they are using or the kind of packages they are using or some other parameters or some other categories they are lying into. Then few sites are doing content based filtering where they see, okay, this particular user group is interested in entertainment, this is in political content, this is interested in social content, something like that. So whatever user is interested or is searching for, on the basis of that criteria, they divide the users and provide that kind of personalized service. But apart from these two, collaborative or social filtering is different. There you don't provide personalization on the basis of any product feature. Rather, you add the human judgment by some same likely minded peoples to the filtering process. So suppose there is a group of 10 peoples which like certain items. So if some 11 person is there with same taste, they will recommend or suggest same things liked by 10 other people. So likelihood of liking or using that recommendation or relevancy of that recommendation is very high because 10 humans judgment is involved in this process. Using any other filtering criteria, you can't filter taste and quality. You can't quantify the taste, you can't quantify the quality. But this way, since human judgment is involved in this thing, you can quantify, means you can personalize using taste and quality. So let's see this example. Here there are three users, user A, user B and user C. So they have rated different items. So if we see user A, A has rated few items as 5, 6, few item as 9, 9, few item groups as 10, 9 and few as 9, 8. Similarly, user B has done some rating and user C has some rating. So on the basis of their similarity of items, you can recommend other few items to user B. If you see the arrow to items rated as 9, 9, so the likelihood that user B will like these items also is very high. So that way collaborative filtering is an important aspect to convert or transform any content centric application to user centric application. So it Users or accounts are different, slightly minded users earlier input and behavior, and on the basis of these interactions or commonality of these interactions, commonality of the taste, they predict next sort of recommendations. Okay. Now coming to web mining. So web mining for user having some application, web mining is also an important aspect which will back your application with the data available across the internet. Intelligence is scattered across the internet, and today is the age of mashups. Certain information is available with certain group or community, certain information is available with certain groups, so you can back your application using those informations and make a user happy. So web mining is basically extracting knowledge from web data or data available across the web. So there are three types of mining involved. One is web content mining. In web content mining, you mine all the data or content available in different web pages or websites. So all the sites which do news aggregation or review or comment aggregation or company information aggregation, they or product comparisons, they do a lot of web content mining. Then another thing is web content structure mining. So now content is available everywhere, but you need to ensure that this is a relevant content, the quality of content is right. So you use content structure mining using page ranking algorithms from link structure analysis or link analysis. This is an important aspect and used by all the search engines to or aggregators to decide whether that content is really relevant or not. Then web usage mining. So this is very important aspect of data mining or web mining. Here you mine all the logs which are generated by users transaction within your site. Using these logs you can predict what is the user behavior, what all pages or what all features or functionalities of your site he is interested or more interested, what all features or functionality he is not interested, what is the navigation path followed to reach from web page A to web page Z. That way you can predict and customize or personalize navigation paths. You can enhance your features within your web application. But there are few challenges in web content mining. Since internet is huge, there is information is also huge. Information is diverse and information is redundant. If you talk about certain news, so certain news is or duplicate news is available in multiple websites. So when you are mining certain content from web, you need to have some sort of algorithm or some sort of heuristics to decide whether this is a similar news or it is a different news, so that you don't end up with serving same duplicate content again and again. Then information is in diversity, so you should have some mechanism to automatically classify it, auto categorize it. And information is huge, so you should be able to get the relevancy of the information, whether that information is relevant to you or not. So these all things in web content mining are the big challenges. To solve these challenges, there are certain field of studies you are required to do. You should work on information retrieval. So from web content mining, what you will get is a HTML page. So from that HTML page, you should be able to extract relevant information in some structure that is usable by your application. So for that, you should learn NLP techniques that will help you in doing information retrieval. You should have some sort of machine learning capabilities so that you can decide whether this content is of which category. So for the classification and auto tagging of the thing, or deciding the relevancy of certain things, you should have a combination of NLP, machine learning, and statistical analysis. Then all these information will pass through the data mining process, and you will get relevant results that can back your web application. So apart from personalization, web data mining, third concept is semantic web. So currently our web is not semantic in nature. There is a lot of information that is linked with hrefs or hyperlinks, but both don't understand the semantics between these two things. But if you have capabilities of semantic web, you can provide a relationship between two documents. So first we see what is a kind of relationship. So basically there are two web pages. They are talking about certain concept or terms, so they have some sort of relations. So that relation can be created using RDFs. Those concepts, terms, and relation can be stored in OWL or ontology web ontology language. Then you can query those RDFs and using SparkQL. Microformats is the example to store such metadata in HTML format. Those are hcontact and hresume formats. So like LinkedIn is using hresume format to display your profile. So that can be queried by using some SparkQL or some RDF resource. So what is an RDF? So RDF is a format which can describe people, place, events, companies, products, means any entity. So you in semantic web, you don't talk about only URL. You talk about entities and their relationships. So using all the semantics, RDF, OWL, SparkQL, and all those things, what you will get as a result is a network of linked data, which understands the relation between different objects. So moving forward, we can summarize or consolidate that what all are the elements behind any intelligent web application. So to provide web personalization, to provide web data mining, to provide semantic where the elements which you will require is you will require an intelligent search engine which can understand the context of your search query, which can extract concept out of that text query, which can apply linguistics to extract concept. Then you should have recommendation and suggestion engine. So using collaboration or collaborative intelligence, using statistical analysis or statistical algorithms, you can design a recommendation engine which can provide recommendations on the or personalization on the basis of users prior input. Then you will require a classification engine or classifier. So use of classifier is to automatic classify documents. That is very important concept in case of user generated content, because if you see whatever classification is provided to user, certain times they will do classification wrong or that will not fit to your system. So by doing some sort of a statistical analysis and using machine learning algorithms, you can classify that content or documents into certain categories and put them or file them there. Then you should have some sort of clustering engine. So using clustering engine, you can group your documents or you can group the data, you can auto tag them, you can generate related content out of that, so that it will help user to decide or to go through more defined or more relevant search or to more relevant content. Then aggregator is also an important component of your intelligent web application to do web mining. So suppose you have a stock application, so you want to display all the latest company news, all the articles related to that company, all the peoples related to profiles of the top peoples related to that company. So you can use some sort of aggregator, you can write some sort of aggregator backed by some crawler to do the web data mining. Apart from that crawler, you can have some statistical and analysis tool, machine learning tool to get right or structured information out of that. That will back your web application. Then you should have some NLP tools. If you are working on user generated content, you need to do a lot of part of speech tagging. When you are writing certain sentence and you want to do, suppose you want to do some sort of sentiment analysis, so you want to find whether the person who is doing review is writing positive thing or negative thing. So you need to first extract all the adjectives out of that. Then you need to do the analysis with some sort of dictionary that whether these adjectives shows positive sentiment or negative sentiment. Then you can use named entity recognition for entity extraction out of text. So that will help you in linking your documents with other documents or your ontologies. Then you will require some implementation of similarity algorithms. So if you are a news aggregator, same news can be published by different websites, but news is same in nature. So using some similarity algorithms and see whether these two texts are similar in nature. The major component which are required in your intelligent web application, you can use all of them or few of them depending on the domain of your web application. So if we again go through, intelligent search engine is part of each and every application. Recommendation and suggestion is part of each and every application. Classifier, uh, you can majorly work on classifiers in user generated content. Clustering, you can work on user generated content. Aggregators, if you are backing your application with the data available across the net, then you can use aggregators or backed by crawler technologies. If there is a lot of user generated content, then you can use NLP analysis or linguistics analysis. So this is beneficial for all those sites which are doing review or comment analysis. So a lot of comparison engines can use this technology. They can aggregate content from all the comment sites and generate a quantifiable review data. Well, so here I'll discuss few technologies per functions. They are depending on your domain. You can use others also, but I will discuss few of the open source technologies. Like for intelligent search engine, you can use Lucene SolarPair backed with certain plugins. For recommendations and suggestions, you can use Apache Mahout and Vika toolkit. That is a very good toolkit for implementing machine learning algorithms. For classifiers, you can implement Bayesian classifiers or Bayesian classifier algorithms. There are already a lot of libraries freely available. LinkPipe also implements Bayesian classifiers. And for clustering engine, you can use Mahout as well as Carrot is especially a clustering engine. So you can use Carrot. For aggregators, you can use Nutch as aggregator or Web Sphinx. Basically, these are the crawler which can you utilize by you for aggregation of that content from across the web. For natural language processing, you can use Stanford processor or you can use OpenNLP, NLTK, Gate, LinkPipe. So they all have different implementations of algorithms to help you in doing part of speech tagging or named entity recognition. So I'll discuss this in short since this is not really in the scope of the session. So now we'll discuss what advantage we will get out of doing or out of making or out of implementing all those elements or all those functions into your web application. So if you will do the personalization, your user experience will go up like anything and you will have very higher retention rates of your user. So user will come again and again to your site. Then you'll have greater opportunities in your market or in your business area since customer satisfaction level is high. You will see significant growth in business because satisfied user will give you a lot of repeat business and good word of mouth. Also, if you have a relevant content using all those statistical backed data or NLP backed data, so on the basis of relevant content you will have enhanced search engine ranking, so that will give you top visibility in search results and that will give you more coverage on organic traffic. So that way it will help you a lot in terms of your business. So if you talk about Amazon, Or if you talk about some top players like in movie rental, Netflix, they have this intelligence within their applications, and due to that they have they are giant in their business areas. So nobody in e-commerce is as big as Amazon is there. So if we talk about real life examples who had implemented all these concepts within their application, so Google is on top. If you see all the search quality or search features or search intelligence provided by Google is tremendous. The kind of personalization it does on the basis of your prior queries is tremendous. If you talk about Google News, especially a news aggregator, so to mm, relate with the concepts we discussed earlier, so they will on the basis of your uh, news selection and opening your news types or categories of news, next time you will get more personalized and related news of your taste. Similarly, Amazon is as a e-commerce site, it is number one, and they have excellent recommendation engine. So they have collaborative filtering implemented, they have auto classification implemented, and they have auto rating implemented, and they have excellent search engine. Similarly, if you talk about Pandora, so Pandora is basically a music site. So there if you go, it will give you a recommendation on the basis of taste, and also on the basis of the genre, on the basis of the beats. So it does a lot of music file processing, metadata of music. On the basis of metadata of music, it provides you recommendations. Netflix is a movie rental site, so it also does a lot of metadata processing, and it also does a lot of semantics, and they give you very relevant result, and they give you very personalized results. LinkedIn is one of the top professional networking site, so they also do a lot of text mining, data mining, as well as web data mining, and recently they have launched their skill section, so you can find any of the related skills with the type of skills you are looking for. Facebook is again uh, great social networking site, and they do a lot of semantics and social recommendations. So find a friend feature, so they do a lot of mm, recommendations, so their recommendation engine works perfectly fine, and you will always get relevant results. So you should have very close connection with the people they recommend you as a friend. A Stack Overflow, this is basically a Q&A site. So there you see they have wonderful auto tagging management. They tag all the content of questions into relevant tags. So these all are the real life examples which have implemented aggregation technologies, recommendation engines, NLP capabilities, intelligent search engine in some or other form, and they are giant in their field. So if you want to gain or perceive better user experience, excellent user experience, we can implement all these features in complete or in part and get satisfied user and a great business. So this is all about intelligent web applications. Now it's time for question and answer session. Okay, Jitendra, your question is what is NLP technique? Again, Vijay Krishna, you have also same query that what is NLP technique. So NLP stands for natural language processing. So when you have a lot of free text in terms of user generated content, so you can extract the features of that text using language processing or linguistics technologies. So there are certain tools available. Using those you can extract different parts of that language, and accordingly you can explain or you can utilize those features. So link pipe you can use, or OpenNLP is a platform you can use for natural language processing, and that is backed by WordNet. Yeah, data warehousing concepts are, yeah, Preeti, do we use data warehousing concepts in web content mining to segregate and assimilate data? Yeah. So data warehousing concepts are used for web content mining. The only difference is in case of data warehousing, data is directly stored in your relational databases. Here you mine all the data or content from your websites available across the web. Then you parse it and store into warehouse and process it. Okay, Vijay Krishna, you have a query that what is POS tagging. So POS means part of speech. So when you analyze any sentence that contains certain part of speech, so using WordNet library or WordNet dictionary, you can using certain libraries extract which part of speech any sentence contains. And suppose you are doing entity extraction, so you are more interested into nouns, like India is a good country. So in this statement, India is a noun, good is an adjective. So likewise. Uh, yeah, Neeraj, you are asking about any example project using all these technologies. So no, you won't get everything in place, but yeah, it is scattered. So for aggregators, you can use the wiki of Apache Nutch. For recommendation engines, you can learn from Apache Mahout. And for Lucene and Solar, you can get it from Lucene and Solar. But yeah, there is a very good book by Mustru, Building Search Applications for Internet. So you can follow that. Okay, Gurnam Singh, what actually machine learning is? So machine learning is basically analyzing the pattern of any data that is lying with us using some sort of statistical algorithms or techniques, and then when you give new set of data, then it can give certain process result that okay, this is this type of data. So that is machine learning. No, all those analytics are not carried on in real time. Yeah, Dev Datta, your question is, are these analytics carried out in real time, or these carried out and stored and used during the next time we log into website? So yeah, these analytics part is carried out in real time, and majority is stored, and then it is processed in backend, and next time when you visit that site you will get the personalized results or recommendations. Yeah, Jitendra Rana, you have asked that various elements we have discussed such as recommendation engine, data mining, cluster engine. Do these engines go on the same application server? No, you can design an architecture where different services can run on different clusters, and then those results can be combined and displayed on your application server by these services. So if you go on into uh, you ask search for some architecture of Google or architecture of LinkedIn, you will find how they are doing those things, and it will give you a clue. Yeah, Abhishek Singh, your question is, what is the approach used for data aggregation? So data aggregation is basically a term used in context of data mining. So when you have a lot of data, you can process it into multiple dimensional view. So you will have some sort of this BI application running that will do it for you. Yeah, Lokesh Kumar, among PHP, ASP.NET and J2E, which language is best to implement all those technologies? Also sites like Google, FB, etc. are using which language to develop their sites, PHP or J2E? So Lokesh, that is totally your decision whether you want to go for ASP, J2E or PHP. It depends totally on your expertise area. If you talk about Google, they have multiple platforms. They run different services in different languages. Similarly, Facebook also. So their presentation layer is part run on PHP, part run on Ruby on Rails, and part code is written on C, and they also use a lot of memcache servers, Scala and all. So that totally depends how you want to scale your problem. Yeah, Keshav Kumar, you have asked, can I submit a new orders from the web application? So can you be a little bit more specific than what exactly you want to? So this is there is a question by Saurav Dhiman. He is asking what kind of algorithm is used by Google. So for different services they use different algorithm, but the most hot on the internet industry is their page ranking algorithm. So the way they crawl your site and rank your page, and a lot of businesses are running out of that. So Google's SEO optimization. So page ranking algorithm is the main one. So that you can get, you search for page ranking algorithm or Brin's algorithm, you can get on it. Okay. Gurnam Singh, you are asking, please give explanation of why servers used by university are heavily loaded when it is the time to check the exam result, and suggest some simple technique to overcome it. Okay, fine. So what happens when some exam results are declared, your traffic increases like anything. There is exponential growth. So that time the capacity or the server capacity to handle the load is not that much. So that way your whole resources are hogged. So what they can do is they can do one thing is they can implement caching technologies. So they can cache the query results, as well as they can move into cloud computing environment. So there they can add more instances when load is high, and they can remove those instances. So Amazon Web Service is one of the example which can be used, and people are using for pay per use model. Yeah, Preeti Agrawal, your question is any suggestion on a good book or content to learn NLP? So you can join Open NLP forums, and Open NLP is a Apache project you can join, and Gate is the most matured project. So you can download Gate and the content or wiki of the Gate, and you can read about NLP techniques.
Well, thank you, Ram, for having a very interactive session. There was really good questions which we have got, and I think we have answered almost 95% of them. And so it was indeed an enlightening session. I would also like to thank our participants for their support in making this webinar a huge success. So the recording of this webinar will be available on techgeek.com tomorrow, along with your queries answered there too. Before I sign off today, our guest speaker for the next webinar is Mr. Ganesh Sahai, who is a quality manager from Adobe Systems India Private Limited. The topic which he is going to cover is moving from black box to white box testing as a career option. So see you all on next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Right. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Thanks everybody. Thanks for your participation.